What's up, players? So let's talk about there's actually for monster killing, there's actually there's a meaningful there's meaning to your defense and hit points now for your main march for monster killing. So let me explain that. Let me explain that in a second here. So I'm trying to kill these krakens to get the Civ card drops. And so far, I've killed four, five, six, seven. I've killed seven, and I haven't gotten them yet today. Now I'm taking wounded on every single one of these kills, and I'm gonna be killing krakens every single day. I can't kill the Azazels because I take 5 times as much wounded on them, but I'm gonna be killing krakens every single day until I get those 2 Civ cards every single day. So the reason why I'm making this video is now there's certain things that are important. So I'm gonna talk about my general's gear, and then I'll talk about the military academy real quick. Anyone that has military academy knows that there's sections in the military academy that give troops hit points and defense on monsters, but it never mattered. Like once you had enough attack to kill, all the stuff in the game you wanted to kill, mainly the level 6 boss monsters, event monsters. I'm up to the point where I can kill the B18s with no wounded without using a mark size. So for example, on my main monster kill general, this is my one general that has 100% double drop because I'm using the bird of hurricane that has extra double drop on him. All I did with him was slap on. I was using 4-piece dragon's gear, and I hadn't refined any of the equipment. I had refined some attack on the ring because I was just under where I needed to be. But now that I'm going to be killing who knows how many krakens each day. Yesterday I had to kill 9 before I got the drop. They must have changed the rarity or something because in the first 3 or 4 days I was always getting it on the first or second hit. Genghis said he was also getting it on his first three kills every day, but then yesterday he killed 30. Didn't get the card drop. You only get 2 cards a day, at least. I think the max is 2 cards. I've never killed like 100 of them to see if I get more. Just like the first few days, I was getting on like the first or second hit. So then like it was like the second day of the event, I killed like 7 of them just to see if I ever got. I killed 7 of the Azazels because I had Ramines to do it to see if I ever got the cards again, but I never got the cards or the military treaties. I didn't really care about the military treaties just because 10 is such a trivial amount to how much you need. But 2 card packs is actually, I mean, that's 10 cards. That's actually a significant amount. So, so what I'm going to do is next super refining, I'm going to refine all of his dragon gear. He was just using 6-piece dragon. Now I upgraded the 2 best pieces of dragon to upgrade on if you're using Caesar is the chest and the chest and the spear. So I'm going to refine all that equipment next event, and then also in the military academy. I just got military academy 7, so it's going to be a while before I spend the tactics scrolls on this stuff. But so I just unlocked everything in Military Academy 7 all the way down to leave me some things to upgrade later that so I can finish off tactics researching. And you see I still have 70,000 tactics scrolls. But in the mounted troop section, there there's like 6 of these between MA1 to MA5, and you can see I just got level 8 in each. These are the ones at MA and MA5. They're expensive, 350 each. I need 12 more levels, so it's probably it increases every level. It's probably gonna be like 5,000 tactic scrolls to get that 3% per level, so like 36% more troops defense on monsters. And then I can get, I would suppose it's 3 times 12, 36% more hit points on monsters. And then I have another defense section from like MA4 that I can also max out, which is 2% more per level. So I'm going to do all that eventually. You know, it was just a complete waste of tactics scrolls because, like I was saying, the only thing that mattered was you had enough combined, you know, mounted troop attack with your march size to get 0 wounded. Once you had enough total attack power to get 0 wounded, defense and hit points were just a complete waste on refining the gear or especially in the military tactics. You know, it takes a long goddamn time to get all the tactics scrolls you need, especially if you want to get most of the stuff in MA5. Never mind the defense and hit points on monsters. All the other stuff, it's like 300,000 something tactics scrolls. So those are the only 3 sections. Oh no, I have a hospital capacity section that I haven't maxed out because I don't need hospital capacity. But I am gonna actually do these defense and hit points in the future. I mean, if I'm gonna be killing somewhere between 10 Krakens on average every single day and taking 2.5 million power loss, 25 million power loss, like it's gonna cost me a significant amount of resources over a month, right? Like 15,000 wounded. So yesterday when I was taking 15,600 something wounded before I upgraded those 2 pieces of dragon equipment, and then I also refined one attribute on all 6 pieces to gold because the first refine doesn't use any gems. Before you lock anything, it doesn't use any gems. So I still have 3 attributes. I can roll the gold on all that stuff. So we're talking, I'm going to gain another 60% or so hit points in defense. Or no, it's like, what is it, 20% times 2 pieces times 3, so it'll be like 6. So over 100% more defense and hit points there. And then in the military academy stuff, we're talking like, if I maxed all that stuff out, we're talking another, between the gear and the military academy, like 150% or so defense and hit points I can get. March size capacity doesn't matter. Like if I used a march size capacity, I would take the exact same number of wounded. So defense and hit points actually matter now. Now that I'm going to be killing stuff, I take wounded on. Like I was never killing the Stymphalian bird. There's no reason to do it. I take wounded even if I use a march size capacity increase. So there's no reason to ever kill the Stymph birds. I was just the way the game's been is the way to save the most amount of resources and progress is never kill stuff that you take wounded on, right? I mean, 1 troop wounded in rallies because they're sending 1 troop. That doesn't add up to anything significant. But 15,000 troops wounded times 10 a day. You know that ends up using a significant amount of healing speeds and you know, or mostly in the hospital because it's mounted troops, right? But it's probably using something like 25 days of healing speeds and, you know, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 million ore every single day. So that's a lot of healing speeds over the course of a month, and it's, you know, a non-trivial amount of ore. But yeah, so the defense and your hit points actually matters on your main march. Everyone probably has a main march with the highest, you know, if you're using Bird of Hurricane with the highest amount of double drop. It is nice to have, you know, one march that has the guaranteed 100% double drop, which you can achieve with Bird of Hurricane. Hurricane in just a reasonable VIP level, probably around like VIP 16. If you've leveled up your Birdie Hurricane, mine's like 18, but it adds over 20% double drop. Yeah, 24% double drop at 18. So it must max out at 28%, maybe 30% if it gives more per level. Let me go to Spiritual Beast and see what level 19 gives. There's so many other Spiritual Beasts I want to level up that are good, that have the dual attributes, that I'm probably never going to level this up to 18. Oh, only 1% more to 19. So anyways, I'm already over 100%, so it doesn't matter. I'm also going to be getting some more double drop. I'm real close. I'm real close to VIP 20, which is significant. I mean, it's cool. It's not the biggest changes. The main thing is it unlocks the eighth preset in the rally spot, so that'll be nice. I'm like 10 packages away or so. So I'll finish that up in an event and a half or so. In the next like 3 weeks, I'll have that. I'll just talk about Caesar real quick for anyone that was curious. So the reason why I have this gear on Caesar is because you want to have 4-piece dragon for the monster's attack and defense reduction. So you get the 10% there. You only want to have 2-star Caesar. It's all about the monster's defense reduction. So 2 red star Caesar gets you the 10%, then you stop. I didn't need to upgrade to 3 stars, but actually, you know what? Upgrade to 3 stars actually does help me out now, because it reduces the monster's attack by 10%. So that's going to reduce the amount of wounded I get by virtually 10%, basically. So yeah, maybe 3 red star Caesar is the way to go now. But with the 10% from Dragon, monster's defense reduction, and the 10% from 2 red stars, then you also have 20% here. The max is 50%. So I use Beowulf as the assistant. That has 10% more, and that puts me at the 50% monster's defense reduction. 50% monster's defense reduction, virtually, like if I had the exact same gear, exact same statistics on everything, and I didn't have the 50% monster's defense reduction, I would need to have twice as many troops in the march to kill the monster, to meet the threshold to kill the monster with no wounded. That's what monster's defense reduction does. So that enables me to have 2 marches like set up in the auto rally. If I set up with Caesar that way, with max monster defense reduction, then I can have Aethelthred using Rurix with 35% monster's defense reduction here, and then she has another 10% on her 2nd star also. So she's at 45% monster's defense reduction. So I have 2 generals, in auto rally, able to kill up to B18s with no wounded, without having to use a mark size capacity buff. So I'll go over that. I'll go over that and talk about auto rally. We've been a couple of months into auto rally so far. So because I have these 2 mounted troop setups, Rurik on 1 4-piece dragon on Caesar, right? And then Beowulf with assistant with Caesar. Because I have that set up, I made enough T15 mounted to fully enable them each to have a full march of T15 mounted. So they could each, if they're both sent out at the same time, they could each kill up to a B18. They can kill a level 50 Hell Viking as well. So my alliance can kill all their Hell Vikings up to completing it with my marches while I'm AFK. So the way you set that up, like if you're the strongest person in your alliance or one of the strongest, the way you can set up your marches, if you have multiple marches that can kill many monsters, I mean the ideal situation is to have 6 marches that could kill up to a B21, right? Well, if you only have 2 marches and they can only kill up to a certain level, what you do is in your auto rally, in this selection, you select everything that your marches can kill while you're AFK with no wounded. So I don't know why that's not selected. Okay, it's a new Arachne. I have everything selected except for, so like in Terminator, I have the ones I don't want to rally, but then I have up to B18 selected. I don't have B19 selected, so if someone sends out a rally on a B19, my mounted troops that can kill up to a B18, they're not going to march out there and get killed, but they are going to march out to everything below that I have selected. Now, I also, so I just got powerful enough going to K42 and doing MA7 to do Hell Vikings up to level 50. So before that, I could do up to 49 before I took wounded. Now I just check mark the level 50. Both my marches can do level 50. My alliance can grind their Vikings, their Hell Vikings, and complete them by themselves when I leave my marches on auto. When it comes to pans, I have the ground troop selected for 3 to 6 pans, but I have the range and the mounted troop only selected to level 5. Now, there's no one else in my alliance that can kill the level 6s in any of them. So I'm not missing out by not having the level 6s selected. Maybe in your alliance with multiple people that can kill all the level 6 event monsters. And by setting it up this way, you would be missing those rallies. This only really works well if you're, the one person that's the big player, in your alliance. So you can set up your marches this way and have, multiple marches, and then just on the list, you just select everything that those 2 marches can kill without ever taking wounded. So I have them selected. Well, they're out marching right now, but I have them set up. I have them set up as my first 2 marches, and then my last 4 I just have like Sonata and Spartacus and Maria Theresa. So my alliance knows, like I've sent out emails about this. If they want to use my marches to kill monsters, all they have to keep track of is the first 2 marches they send out. Wait until all rallies, there's no active rallies, and they know the first 2 rallies anyone starts, my marches that can kill up to those certain monster level types, they'll be the first 2 marches that go out. So they just have to keep track of that. Or maybe they want to rally, 5 or 6 monsters at all times. They find 5 or 6 monsters, and then they just start the rally on the 2 high power monsters first, and then they can use their marches. They just send out 1 troop. They start the rally with 1 troop on those first 2 marches. My 2 big marches are going to kill those 2 high powered monsters, and then they use, then they themselves, they might have 1 or 2 marches that can kill a level 5 event boss. So then their third and fourth rally they start would be like a level 5 event boss and a couple level 4 event bosses. And if you set it up that way, all of a sudden everyone in your alliance, they can kill high-powered monsters. They can start a rally with one troop, kill high-powered monsters. It's pretty GG. I didn't want to make a video about this because I know that there's at least one other person in the other alliance on our server. We got 2 alliances on our server. I knew at least one other person watches my videos. They'd see this, and they got one high-powered guy in their alliance too that could set up their marches this way. And I'm pretty sure they don't have their marches set up this way. And we'd have a lot more competition for monsters if their big guy set up his marches the way I got my marches set up. But it's a couple months into this monthly rally card. It's not so much of a big deal for me anymore to spell it out. Is what it is. But everyone knows I gather most of the time, anyways. You know, I got like 5,000% stone gathering speed. So if there does end up getting more competition on the map for me for monsters, I'm gathering. If I just gather, I gather like close to 4 billion stone a day. I'll just gather stone, and it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's how to set up. That's how to set up your marches for monster rallies, and that's why defense and hit points actually matter now for your main monster killing march. If you're going to be killing krakens all day until you get those Sith cards, like those Sith cards are worth something. If you want to complete those sets. All right, thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you can do anything else, do that too.